Well, I am on my way to go fix a shower at my soon-to-be brother-in-law's house. And I'm just making a video today in response to a comment that somebody deleted on my video about the new masks that are now mandatory, the new regulation at the stores, such as Walmart and HomeSense, things like that. I don't know what part of the video hinted that I was in fear. Like, somehow wearing a mask indicates to certain people that you're living in fear. You're paranoid. So I understand, to me, those people who are thinking like this have a very limited view of the reasons why, actually just a limited view of like what's going on and what the pandemic is, and just a very small, I guess, world that they live in. Just because you wear a mask doesn't mean you're living in fear. You're just following regulations and health protocols. Like, I'm suspecting that those people are the type that are big on government conspiracies and things like that, or on anti-vaccinations, vaccination conspiracies. I'm having a problem here with the sticky. It's not sticking. Okay, so anyways, after thinking about it, like, I've discovered this, that in the past years, governments, well, people in high positions such as Trump and others have been telling people that we shouldn't have big government, things like this, which is an American ideal, and he's been going out against elitism and calling people elites and stuff like that, and warning people and giving them this, I would say, a fear or discernment. But yeah, this is the reason why I would say the society is acting like this towards masks in North America. The difference between here, so people don't have that much confidence in the government lately. A lot of people are against the Trump administration. A lot of people are against the Trudeau liberals, from all the lies and stuff like that, and, you know, big difference between other countries. And I'm going to give China an example because I lived through it. I was there when the pandemic started. And the biggest thing is that people had confidence in their government because the government moved fast. And the same with New Zealand. Look at New Zealand, how quickly they moved. They got 102 days without any cases. And now they're locking down, Christchurch. Melbourne's the same thing. They want to stomp it out. Those Aussies and Kiwis. I don't know if Kiwi's offensive, but I'm just going to use the word just to distinguish the difference between them. They got a different mentality than we do over here, and they're Westerners. Okay, I'm just going to stop here and get some gas, and I'll continue on later. I know a lot of guys I think this is over the top, but gas stations in general are just disgusting germ collecting places. Those gas pumps in general are just nasty. I would use a glove even without this, but you know, after thinking about it, yeah, I would rather wear a glove to get gas. And I will wear a mask. Shoot. Actually, I'm just gonna wear this one. It's come on. There we go. And this is how I do it. See you in a bit. Use gloves, threw them away in the garbage can. Still gonna use hand sanitizer. Because I gotta take off my mask. I'm gonna use it again after I take off my mask. Use some alcohol. It's like, oh man, you're way over the top. I got people at home that are susceptible to the disease because they got, I don't want to do that. So, where was I? All right. Yeah, you see the masks are hanging right there in the view. It's kind of funny because this is the topic I'm talking about. And if you think of it, a lot of people, you see a lot of cars now just hanging that. It's like a new ornament. It's a pandemic ornament. You know, the sun helps to sanitize it too. Remember, never to spray it with alcohol. That just renders it useless. Alcohol will wreck it. Yeah, and don't use a blow dryer on it either. That'll wreck the fibers in there. Okay. So another topic that I want to talk about is, oh yeah, all the racism and the anti-Chinese sentiment that has been growing. It's been growing in the the past few years, like since, you know, I would call these the gold years of China. I don't know from now on if the gold years are, you know, it seems like it's pretty much done with the pandemic. But for the past 10 years, I would say, there's been that growing anti-China rhetoric in the States, especially, and they've been pushing that. And in the early month, I would say even the first month of the pandemic coming here, which was in March, there has been cases in January, I guess, that they look back at that could have possibly been the first cases, but generally it's kind of blown up in March in my province. And the racist behavior of certain individuals, you know, there's some isolated cases that were made public. I don't know how many that weren't, but there was you know, acid attacks, people getting beat up, and most of the time it was elderly women or even teenage kids getting harassed, beaten up. And then there was the vandalism at the consulate in Calgary. Okay, I don't even know when it stopped. Okay, what I was going on about was that the anti-Chinese rhetoric in the West here, and how it started when, I would say, around March, April, when the pandemic really started to break out here. And you'd see mostly, and it didn't even necessarily wasn't Chinese, it was Asian, because those people who want to take out their anger and use excuses and ideas from like Trump or whoever for saying stupid things like the Wuhan virus, the China virus, the CCP virus, all of those, in the end, Chinese people, Chinese living abroad, even descendants of Chinese and Asians, even Native Americans too, because some people can't tell the difference. And they use their anger, their frustration, and want to take it out on something else, something external, and blame it on others. So yeah, just that kind of crap has to stop. Quit saying those things to each other and typing it up online. You don't know, even if you're thinking, oh no, I mean the government, not the people. No, you know, it doesn't help. It doesn't matter. It still affects Asian people and Chinese people, because those racist people, those psychopaths, are going to take out their anger, and they have. There's been acid attacks, and they've mostly attacked people. Like, they're cowards. They've attacked women, mostly women and elderly people. What kind of garbage is that? And most people don't agree with that. I agree. Like, most people you'd see defend that, but in most cases, people don't even step up to do anything about it. Stuff has to stop. It's not right. You think they wanted this? You think they really wanted this to happen to them? Look, the economy's been hit hard in China. They spent billions just to stomp it out. And now even like countries are doing the same thing abroad. Like, they first started criticizing, like, oh look, they're way too serious about this. They're way too, they should be locking down and stuff like this. Started criticizing, but now, you know what? That's effective. We can learn something. Learn something from countries like New Zealand, Australia. They're smart enough to do the right thing. It's not about taking your rights away. It's not about big government taking over. It's temporary, guys. And our society's not used to going through hardship. There's generations in China where they've gone through hardship 30 years ago. So different. That generation has gone through it, and they buckled down. They know how to buckle down and go through it. Because if they get through it, they just hold on couple months, few months. Look what happened. After 1 month, the country was back in control. I mean, they shut down all of Wuhan and the province and locked down other cities just to be sure, make sure nobody's traveling, and they stomped it out. And it popped up again months later, and they stomped it out within a couple weeks. And they're back to normal again. And now they're living, traveling, doing business. They got the flood to deal with. And as soon as the water receded, you see people getting back to work. They work hard. They get things done. I'm not saying people don't do that here, but I mean, we got this division. We don't have this unity like they would over there. I just don't see it. And that's what frustrates me. It's not that I'm afraid of the virus. It's just I'm frustrated with how people have dealt with it here. I had a rant on because people can be very insensitive and just irrational and, well, basically just insensitive. They don't get it. I'm not afraid of big government and all that and any conspiracy theory. I'm not afraid of that stuff. Nothing. But I have a responsibility as a father, a son-in-law, a son, and I care. You know, I care about those people. My mother, you know, my parents are getting elderly. I mean, I'm saying getting elderly, I'm being nice, they're in their 60s. My mother-in-law, she's got health conditions. My mother is diabetic. My niece is diabetic, and I gotta protect everybody. At least the only people in my whole town that I know who are taking it just as serious as I am is my brother's family and my parents. And this, you know, we equally get frustrated, and it gets depressing that living in a town where just few people, you know, there's a good portion of people that think alike, take it seriously. But it's those, you know, 20 to 29-year-olds, 20 to 39-year-olds are still going out, acting like douchebags, going out to party, going to gather together, not caring anything in the world, And you know, so many of them have regretted because they've passed it on to their parents. Some of their parents go to ICU. You know, some of them have lost family members. Like, why would you risk this? You'd like, think of the repercussions. You'd have to live with that the rest of your life. Knowing that because of your attitude. You know, at least if I had contracted it, even if like doing all these precautions, it would have been an accident, or I wouldn't, you know, at least I had tried. But to have this ignorant, arrogant attitude about it, and thinking you're smarter than the scientists and all the professionals, and denying science, you know, I have no other words to say. I don't want to insult people, but I mean, like, just think about it. You don't have, just think rationally. You may think you're rational about it and you're thinking everyone else is panicking, but look at the big picture, man. Or woman. Just look at the big picture. It's not a big deal to wear a mask, but if we could have stomped it out. Look at how other countries did. Even without masks, they locked down. Nope. I understand there's situations for financially for everybody, but it's fortunate we live in a country like this with social welfare, and we can take it, and we can have a government that's willing to pour out the money to support us. And guess where that money comes from? Immigrants. Do you know how much immigrants spend on immigrating to Canada? Canada is one of the most expensive places and most difficult places to immigrate to. People spend, I'm not saying, and even this is the minimal, 10,000. Can you think of spending at least 10,000? People are spending tens of thousands just to immigrate here. And think about, those people are pouring tons of money before they even get a maple card, a green card. They don't have PR or anything. They don't even have a citizenship. They don't even have, you know, they have to pay 3 to 5 years, I think it was. I'm thinking 5 years, 3 years, something like that. Up front, taxes, all up front before they are even allowed to immigrate. Some of them have to buy, like purchase some house, stuff like that. You know, these people have money too. And so you gotta appreciate these people who immigrate here. This is the racism that I can't understand. You know, this is the problem with the multicultural society. This is my opinion. It doesn't work because people don't want to understand each other. They just want to live in their own bubbles. That's what they do. That's what Canada's like. Everybody lives in a bubble. They live in their own community bubble. There are people who, especially the immigrants, they want to experience this life. They see this Canadian dream, and they want to live here. And so they go out and really be like Canadians. Go enjoy the mountains, the lakes, the nature, the fresh air and all that, the wide open spaces. They go to events. They share their culture. You know, you can argue all you want about the masks and what you think and what your science is, but the fact is, if we don't stomp it out and take these steps, the economy's not going to get better, and the doors to trade won't open. I mean, nobody will want to deal with Canada because of the cases. So, I mean, that's just the reality. Yeah, so the reason I make these videos is because I want to bridge the gap between misunderstanding between China, the people, and here. And I've been learning. I've been learning a lot through the years. I've been married almost 10 years now, lived 3 years in China, and I've been in and out almost every year there. So this is why I make these videos, and I hope you enjoy them. Well, I think I'm out of memory, so I'm going to wrap it up here and almost at the house now. So I'll catch you later, and I hope this video was interesting. And yeah, like, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment below. Catch you later.